In the early part of the 21st century, the world was in turmoil. We were consumed with the aftermath of the global pandemic, the threat of nuclear war, and the climate emergency. Despite it all, we hurried about our lives, expectant that our world would continue as it always has, the indomitable human spirit never wavering. Yet no one considered, with all of the fears we had made by our own hands, that it would be a threat from another world that would bring our society to its inevitable demise, and that for all of our technology, we would be powerless to stop them. What had taken us thousands of years to build would be wiped out in just 17 days. Those who survived record this event as the Harvesting. Episode 3, 17 days later. From where he stood just outside the door of the inn's kitchen, Lee staggered forward, lunging from side to side, his jaw snapping open and shut. He swung a large butcher knife, stopping and turning to Lisa. He raised the knife above his head, a malevolent grin spreading across his face. Then, with a satanic shriek, he began to stagger towards her, the knife slicing side to side. "What the fuck, mate? Put down the knife," said John. "Lee, stay back," snapped Addy. Lee wailed and lunged at Lisa. John grabbed a bar stool. He struck Lee across the upper body, and he went down with a thud. He lay on the floor, unconscious but still twitching and grunting. John kicked the knife across the room. He and Addy couldn't believe what they'd witnessed. John turned to Lisa, who was visibly shaken. "Are you okay?" "No, not really." Lee's glazed eyes rolled back and forth. His body continued to twitch, muscles spasming as his jaw snapped. "We need to leave before he wakes," said John. "We can't just leave him here like that," protested Addy. "He isn't coming with us, and we need to get back to England. He's our friend." "Some friend." "I need to get to Sam and Connor. We'll find help and send someone for Lee." "We should go now," said Lisa. "It'll be dark soon, and I need to contact the authorities to find Tom." "I don't think it's right to leave Lee," said Addy. "You can stay or come with me," replied Lisa, "but I'm leaving. It's my car and he's not invited." Lisa tossed the wedding hat away, then she turned and headed for the exit, still carrying her shoes. John followed. Addy looked down at Lee, and then followed after them. As the door closed behind Addy, Lee's eyes flickered open. He stared at the knife John had kicked across the room. Outside, Lisa rushed to her Discovery, unlocking it from a distance. She slid into the driver's seat and John got in the front passenger seat. Addy climbed in the back. Lisa started the engine. As the Discovery pulled out of the parking bay, the inn's doors opened and Lee staggered out. Lisa accelerated and the Discovery joined the main road. Lee howled after the vehicle, waving the knife in the air. Lisa drove along the main road, swerving to miss detritus. "By the way, I'm John and this is Addy. Thanks for the lift." "I'm Lisa, and you're welcome, but this ride only lasts until we find someone to report what's happened. My priority is finding Tom." "Nice to meet you, Lisa," answered John, "and understood." "Thanks all the same," said Addy. The dash clock read December 12th, 15:06. Without noticing the date and time, John tried the radio, but only got static and silence. The sat-nav read, "No satellites found." Lisa, Addy and John continued down the road. The SUV rounded a corner. Ahead was the crashed helicopter. Lisa hit the brakes hard, swerving the Discovery around the crashed hulk. "Maybe slow a little, I think we're safe now," said John. "Perhaps," answered Lisa. Lisa lifted her foot off the gas, and the SUV began to slow. As they left the wrecked helicopter behind, a pack of 4 rabid dogs took notice of the sounds from the vehicle. They came onto the road and approached the helicopter, dragging one of the corpses from the now open door. Red gloop dripped from their mouths as they began to devour it. Lisa continued to drive at a slower pace, and John looked back to Addy. They were all deflated. Lisa concentrated on guiding the large SUV through the wreckage. The Discovery came to a stop at the border with England. There were no signs of police, army, or anyone in charge, just more car wrecks with charred bodies in them. The clock registered 15:30. Lisa looked at John. "Now what?" "Keep going, I guess," answered John. Meanwhile in Hutton Rugby, inside John's garage, Kelly came awake with a bottle of wine in each hand, one broken and empty, the other full. The window allowed in the last of the day's gloomy light. Kelly checked her watch. It read 15:30 hours. The refrigerator door remained open with the light on. Kelly let go of the broken bottle and closed the refrigerator. The room went dark. She reopened the refrigerator and began to cross the room with the full bottle. She entered the kitchen from the garage door. The room was deserted. "Hello? Samantha?" Kelly heard a muted growl in the distance. Tiffany, the tiny Yorkshire Terrier, skulked into the kitchen. The dog looked wild and rabid. Red froth leaked from her mouth. "Holy shit, Tiffany!" The crazed dog approached, trying to attack. Kelly punted the creature into the living room. With a yelp, the dog landed heavily. Dead. Kelly breathed deep. The children and other adults were gone. The kitchen table appeared hastily abandoned. All of the drinks had been upended and the table was a mess. Connor's T-Rex birthday cake had collapsed and grown mouldy with age. Kelly sank into a chair, gasping for breath. "Is anyone here? Where's everyone gone?" She reached for the corkscrew on the counter beside her. As the discovery continued into the coming evening, John checked the radio again. Then he noticed the screen and gasped. "What is it?" asked Lisa. "The date. The system says it's December the 12th. "That can't be," said Addy. "That would mean we'd been out for more than 2 weeks. 17 days. That explains why the food looks rotten, and the decomposing bodies." Lisa hit the brakes. The tires squealed and she swerved, barely avoiding a stopped vehicle around a turn. "I can barely see. There are so many wrecked vehicles. It doesn't seem smart to go on." "There's a hotel at Berwick-upon-Tweed," said Addy. "It's not far." Lisa took a short beat. "That sounds good. We're low on fuel and we should stop for food." "I told Sam I'd be home tonight," said John. "It seems we haven't eaten for more than 2 weeks. It's been a very long day." "Or 17. John fought his emotions. "I need to know that my family's okay." "Me too," said Lisa. "But I think it's best if we only drive during daylight." "We don't know what we'll encounter at night." "I guess you're right. Fuck." The SUV continued at a very slow pace, its high beams lighting the way through another wreck. They passed a billboard for the Berwick View Hotel, announcing it was 2 miles ahead. What seemed an eternity later, the SUV pulled into the parking lot of an upscale hotel in northern England. Lisa, John and Addy checked their surroundings. "Addy and I'll go inside and look around. You should wait here." "Come back in 10 minutes and let me know you're safe or I'm leaving," warned Lisa. "Aye, aye, Commander." John and Addy got out of the Discovery. Lisa turned off the engine to conserve fuel and stay silent. She looked nervously about. John and Addy cautiously entered the hotel lobby. Luggage lay strewn across the floor. Chairs had been upended. The desk loomed dark and empty. The lobby was silent. "Someone or something did this," said Addy. "That's becoming more and more clear. The government. Why would they do all of this? I wouldn't put anything past them." "You've always been a conspiracy theorist," laughed John. "You think what we've seen today makes me look wrong?" "Fair enough." John and Addy headed down the hall, deeper into the hotel. After satisfying themselves as best they could that the hotel was clear, they headed back to the lobby. They stepped out of the hotel and signalled to Lisa. "Everything looks safe enough. Bring the car close and lock it, in case we need to fuck off quickly." On the 3rd floor, Lisa, John and Addy approached an open door to a suite with a maid truck that held the door open. Addy wheeled the truck out of the way and held the door. "John, let's see if you can open the door when you're inside." "Paranoid much?" said John. "Quite. I don't want to spend my last days deciding which of us is going to eat the other whilst trapped in there." "We'll break you out if the door won't open," said Lisa. John stepped inside, shutting and opening the door. "Happy?" "Never less so." "At least the suite seems safe." "Now that we have a refuge for the night, 2 of us should go for food." "I'm famished," said Lisa. "I'll go with you." "And I'll hold the fort." John and Lisa entered the main kitchen, which showed the remnants of a contained fire. The stoves had burned out. Lisa approached the closed fridges.
Do you dare me?
Before John could answer, they heard a noise from underneath the massive metal prep station. John picked up a butcher's knife. "Who's there?" A clattering emanated from behind or beneath the metal tables. John and Lisa stood back. John wielded his knife. Emma Oswald, Scottish, 25 and very pregnant, began to extricate herself from under the massive table.
"Please, help me."
"Who are you?"
"I'm Emma, the prep chef."
John handed the knife to Lisa. "Watch my back." Lisa gasped when she got a good look at Emma. "What's wrong?"
"Nothing. I just noticed Emma is pregnant. Very. Congratulations."
John took note of Lisa's strange reaction as he helped Emma out from under the station and to her feet. Emma wore a hotel uniform, and she reached for the crucifix at her neck.
"Thank you. What's happened?"
"We don't know. Everyone seems to have gone, and we're missing some time. A few days."
"How could that be? I was awake earlier, but then I think I passed out."
John shook his head and shrugged.
"What did you see?" "Not much. It went dark, rain started, and then everyone began to drop, so I crawled under my station the way they teach us in emergency drills. I thought it was a terrorist attack."
Lisa set down the knife.
"Did you go outside?" "Just now, to wait for my husband. Harry picks me up at the end of my shift, then he goes to work. Then I saw your car and hid here. I got scared."
Emma looked deflated.
"Do you know what the date is?"
asked Lisa.
"It's November the 25th.
"We think it's December the 12th.
"Who can that be?"
"We don't know," answered Lisa. "It could be the car electronics throwing us off, but everything we've seen points to it being right."
"I need to get home and make sure Harry and my son Joseph are well. I need to go now. Please take me. That's too far for me to walk in my condition."
"It's not safe to go at night. That's why we stopped here," said John. "We're all trying to learn what has happened to us and to our families. Come up to the suite with us. It's safe there. We'll take you home in the morning." Emma reluctantly agreed. Then she moved towards a large fridge.
"This is where we store the pre-cooked food. There'll be enough in here to keep us going."
"Great," said John. "Let's take what we can carry." Inside the relative safety of the suite, Emma, Lisa and John joined Addie and consumed the food and soft drinks. "It's a shame we can't have a real drink, though God knows if there was ever a time to." "Yeah," said Addie, "but we need to stay sharp."
"Do you drink a lot?"
asked Emma. "We do drink quite a bit when we're off duty on the oil rig," said John. "Not much else to do."
"Well, I can't."
"And I don't these days," said Lisa. "Why not?"
"I have my reasons, not least of which is that I'm a nurse, and I know the consequences of overindulging."
"Or at least what the consequences used to be," said Addie. "We may be living in a completely different world."
"It's early," said Lisa, "but I'm ready to sleep. Let's try to get going at dawn."
"Agreed," said John.
"Emma and I will take the master bedroom, and the two of you can fight it out over the other bedroom and the couch."
"That seems fair," said John. In the adjoining room to the suite, John looked down at the market town as the street lights flickered out. It looked like the world was dying a new death. "Everything's going dark," said John. The blackout eventually reached the hotel. The room plunged into darkness. "Welcome to the Stone Age," said Addie. The emergency lights came on. "Well, at least the emergency lights still work, for now." In the suite's master bedroom, Emma and Lisa shared the enormous queen bed.
"It's really comforting to have a nurse nearby. I don't think I've ever slept with a nurse."
"Well, I hope I can be a comfort to you.
But I want to tell you something that I haven't yet told the men."
"What is it?"
"I'm pregnant as well."
"What an amazing coincidence."
"Is it?" said Lisa. "I really hope that's the case."
The lights flickered and went out.
"What's happened?"
"The power has gone out," said Lisa.
"It was bound to happen."
Emma began to cry, and Lisa reached for her hand.
"I'm scared."
"Me too," said Lisa. In the dark, and at the end of the street, the hotel was visible against the full moon. The silhouette of a man, somehow strangely wrong, staggered into view. Grunting and clicking, he began to make his way toward the entrance. A Messflix production. Written by M.E. Ellington and Stephen Stiefel. Narrated and produced by Jonathan Truman.